Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So going to be giving you Manchester United's most expensive signings since Alex Ferguson's retirement. So obviously our most expensive signing is Paul Pogba. We paid £89 million for him back in 2016. Paul Pogba is now into his 5th season at Manchester United. Now, our second most expensive signing is Harry Maguire. We got him in a deal worth £80 million from Leicester in the summer of 2019. Harry Maguire is the most expensive centre-half in the world at this present time. Another one of our most expensive signings is Fred. We got Fred for around £52 million from Shakhtar Donetsk a few years ago. We got him under the Jose Mourinho era. Now, another one of our most expensive signings is Aaron Wan-Bissaka. We got Aaron Wan-Bissaka in a deal worth £50 million from Crystal Palace in the summer of 2019. Another one of our most expensive signings is Romelu Lukaku. We paid £75 million for him from Everton back in 2017. Romelu Lukaku did endure a few years at the club, then obviously he left Manchester United to go to Inter Milan. Now, another one of our most expensive signings is Nemanja Matic. We got him for around £40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. Matic has endured over 3 years now at the football club. Now, another one of our most expensive signings is Juan Mata. We paid just over £37 million for Juan Mata from Chelsea back in 2014. Juan Mata has endured a good 6 years or so now at the football club. Another one is Anthony Martial. We paid around £36 million for Anthony Martial from Monaco. Martial has endured a good 5 years or so now at Manchester United. Now, another one of our most expensive signings is Angel Di Maria. We got him under Louis van Gaal era, but he's no longer obviously at Manchester United. We paid around £60 million, or was it just under £60 million for Angel Di Maria? Now, another one of our most expensive signings is Eric Bailly. We paid £30 million for Eric Bailly from Villarreal back in 2016. We got him under the Jose Mourinho where it was the first signing that Jose Mourinho made. Another one of our most expensive signings is Victor Lindelof. We paid, was it around £31 million for him from Benfica back in 2017. Another one is Luke Shaw. Paid £30 million for him from Southampton back in 2014. Luke Shaw's endured a good 6 years or so now at the football club. Another one is Bruno Fernandez. We got him for €55 million. €55 million equates to around 47 million in pound sterling. We got him from Sporting Lisbon. Bruno Fernandes has endured around 9 months at the football club. Now, another one is Donny Van Der Beek. You know, we paid £40 million for him from Ajax. You can put Amad Traore as one of the most expensive signings because we've paid £30 million for him in total, with add-ons included. Amad Traore will be joining the football club in January. Ander Herrera, he's also on that list. We paid just under £30 million for Ander Herrera back in 2014. I think we got him from Atletico Bilbao, but Ander Herrera did enjoy around 5 years at Man United. He's no longer at the football club now because obviously he went to PSG on a 3 transfer in the summer of 2019. Also, Marion Fellaini is on that list. We paid just over £27 million for Marion Fellaini under the David Moyes era, and we got him from Everton. Fellaini endured around 6 years or so at the football club. Obviously, he left in January 2019 to go to China. Didn't he? And yeah, I think that's about it. They are Manchester United's most expensive signings since Alex Ferguson retired. Now, Ole Gunnar Solsjaer has still got the backing of he's still got the backing from the players, despite our total inconsistency. Now, there's still some Manchester United fans that are confident that Solskjaer can succeed at the football club. Now, we recently had a very, very good win against Everton. We beaten them by 3-1. And going into that Everton game, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was under a lot of serious pressure at the football club. If we'd have not beaten Everton, then I think Solskjaer would have been sacked as Manchester United manager. But we did beat them. Obviously, prior to the last 2 games prior to the Everton game, we'd lost because we lost to Istanbul Başakşehir by 2-1, and that was an absolute embarrassment because that was Istanbul Başakşehir's first ever win in the Champions League, and they were formed in 1990. And the other week we lost to Arsenal by 1-0, and that was our first defeat at Old Trafford against Arsenal for around 14 years. But not all the pressure's totally eased off him. Reflects on that win against Everton, and I think just some pressure would have eased off him. Now, obviously, after the international break, we play West Brom at Old Trafford. That's a game Manchester United should be winning because obviously West Brom are very, very poor. They're sitting 18th in the Premier League, so they are in the relegation zone, and they've not yet won in the Premier League so far this season. West Brom recently lost to Tottenham 1-0. Didn't they? Now, obviously, the last time we played West Brom at Old Trafford, we lost to them by 1-0, and that was a couple of years ago now. We lost them at home back under David Moyes era. They'd beaten us by 2-1. I know a few of West Brom's players. I know they've got that Carlon Grant. They've got Grady Diangana. They've got Conor Gallagher. They've got Dara O'Shea. They've obviously got Sam Field. He's been out with injury for them. They've got Matheus Pereira. He's been out with injury. They've got Ivanovic. He's been out with injury. They've got Kanu. He's also been out with injury for West Brom. They've got Charlie Austin as well. They've got Callum Robinson. So yeah, they are a few of their players. Their current manager is Slaven Bilic, West Brom's. But if we do beat West Brom after the international break, that'll be our first win at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season. We've not yet won at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season, and it is our worst start at Old Trafford for around 50 years. I think we're now sitting, 14th in the Premier League table. We've played 7 games so far this season. We've won 3, we've lost 3, and we've drawn 1. Now, like I've said to you before, I want Ole Gunnar Solsjaer to succeed at Manchester United. The main explanation is because I love him a lot. He's a club legend. But in reality, I don't think he's good enough to succeed as Manchester United manager, because he hasn't got that proven pedigree as a manager. You know, Man United is the 3rd club in his managerial career. Now, reflecting how long Ole's been at the club, you know, he has gained managerial experience, because he has been Manchester United manager now for almost 2 years. You know, we appointed him in December 2018, and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. And he's got a contract with the football club until 2022. Ole has managed 102 games for Man United in all competitions, and he's won 57 games as Manchester United manager. But I think we did make a bad mistake by giving him the job permanently. The main explanation we're giving the job permanently was reflecting on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. I think we've made quite a lot of mistakes in the last 7 years or so, and that's one of the main explanations why we've been so inconsistent. You know, obviously Ole is into his 2nd full season as Manchester United manager. Obviously he was going to be, you know, given another season, but obviously we didn't expect to be as bad as we have been in a lot of our games this season. Now, I said to you, if Manchester United can get a top 4 finish this season and we can win a trophy, that would represent a very, very good season for Manchester United, and then that would give us something to build on. I was hoping that we could have mounted the title challenge up this season, but I don't see that happening. I think I wanted to mount a title challenge up, but in reality, we were, and I think Man United need at least 4 signings, you know, to mount any title challenge up. That's what I do believe. Now, obviously, we're making plans for next year on, obviously, who we're going to bring in, because definitely Man United need more signings. Earlier on today, I give you the breaking news on Ousmane Dembele, didn't I? Man United are going to go in for him in January, and he could be available for £45 million. But I think we want to get him on loan with the obligation to buy. Barcelona would prefer a straight purchase. Barcelona are looking to offload around 5 players. I think next year we could go in for Dayot Upamecano from RB Leipzig. I think he'd go very, very well alongside Harry Maguire in our back line. Adama Traore from Wolves, you know, we could go in for him in January. There's obviously rumours coming out about Moussa Dembele from Lyon. Reportedly he's rated at around £30 million, but we're facing a battle for him because West Ham are also interested in the player. So there you go. Obviously we'll be looking to offload more players next year because there's obviously still deadwood in the squad. I think next year we'll be looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard, looking to get rid of Rojo, Jones, Romero. Romero's recently said anyway once his contract terminated. I think next year we could loan Daniel James out. Brandon Williams could be loaned out because Williams is now our 3rd choice left back, isn't he? Following the arrival of Alex Telles. You know, Matic, he could be sold next year because he's lost his place in the team. Do you think we could sell Juan Mata next year? There's a lot of Manchester United fans that are expecting Paul Pogba to leave the football club next year. So, there you go. But I can't see Solsjaer being Manchester United manager in January. I think he will be gone by then. I may be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, to be honest with you. The favourite to take over the club is Mauricio Pochettino. Now, like I've said to you so many times, I like Mauricio Pochettino a lot. Good manager. Did well in his 5.5 years at Tottenham. Obviously, my only element of concern about Pochettino is that he hasn't won anything in terms of silverware. But prior to that, good. Because he's well Premier League proven. He's dealt with top players. He's got a good philosophy. Analysing the vast majority of his tenure at Tottenham, Tottenham were competing in and out of the top 4. Last year, he guided Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final. He guided them to the League Cup final and he guided them to 2 FA Cup semi-finals. And during his time at Tottenham, I think he must have spent over £200 million on players. He did well at Southampton though, because he guided Southampton to their highest ever finish. And before Southampton, he was at Espanyol. So far managed 3 clubs in his managerial career. And Pochettino said last Monday he's missing football and he's ready for a return to management. But it's been saying that we could miss out on him if we don't act soon. Because obviously Pochettino's considering taking the PSG job. Real Madrid, Barca, Newcastle before. They've all been in for him, so too of Man City. He said the other week that Zenit St Petersburg were in talks to get him in. And the Manchester Evening News said last week that Man United have approached Mauricio Pochettino over becoming the club's new manager. He was the favourite to take over at Manchester United after Jose Mourinho got sacked. There's a couple of other managers on our agenda, Julian Nagelsmann from RB Leipzig. We've also got Massimiliano Allegri on our agenda. He's the former Juventus manager, is Massimiliano Allegri. But there's some people that don't think sacking Solskjaer would solve a lot. It probably wouldn't solve a lot really, because not all of the blame stems from the manager, does it? There's been a lot of problems with the club in the last 7 years or so. Obviously we've had a lot of problems with the board. Obviously a lot of Manchester United fans have been demanding the board out, because our recruitment policy has been poor for several years. And we've obviously overpaid for players and all of that. Woodward's been at the football club since 2012. And the Glazers have been at the football club since 2005. I think the Glazers have taken quite a bit of money now out of the football club. And the board have not backed any of the managers that we've had since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. So they didn't back Moyes, they didn't back Van Gaal, they didn't back Mourinho, and obviously they haven't backed Solskjaer. Because in the summer transfer window of this year, we missed out on all of Solskjaer's priority targets, and Solskjaer revealed a few times during the summer transfer window that he was very infuriated with the board. You know what I mean? Obviously, there has been players that have been underperforming at Manchester United. These definitely still players that have got to step up to the plate. Like I mentioned on my recent videos, there's a lot of players though that have impressed me recently. Marcus Rashford's recently impressed me. He put a good performance out against Everton, got an assist, but I think he should have got his name on the score sheet because he had some good chances. Marcus Rashford wasn't that good against Besiktas and Arsenal, but prior to that he's had a good start to this season. He recently turned 23 years of age. Rashford has been part of the club for several years. He's been a United player since the age of 7, and he's been in our senior squad since 2016, and since then has become an integral part of our team. You can put Rashford out wide, and you can also put him centrally, but I prefer him out wide because that's where he's more effective. I don't think he's that good when he's playing centrally, Marcus Rashford. Now, Bruno Fernandez, he's impressed me recently. He wasn't good against Besiktas, but disregarding that game, he's done well this season, Bruno Fernandes. He scored twice against Everton, and he also got an assist. But against Besiktas, he must have been dispossessed 34 times, of what I read up anyway. Bruno Fernandes has endured, 9 months at the club. Vast majority of his goals have come from the penalty spot, to be fair. Last season, he won Premier League Player of the Month twice, was it? He won it for February and June, which was good. He also won some Matt Busby Player of the Year award, Bruno Fernandes. And Bruno Fernandes revealed that he hasn't been happy recently with Solsjaer. Obviously, he was talking about Paul Pogba not so long ago. Solsjaer said he's recently been frustrated with Fernandes, by the way, in the 3-1 win against Everton. Not to do with his performance, obviously, but I think his positioning, that's what frustrated Ole. Bruno Fernandes is definitely the best signing we've made under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. He's one of the best signings we've made since the Sir Alex Ferguson era, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. I've got to say that Donny Van Der Beek, he's impressed me when he's played, but he hasn't really played that much, has he? He's obviously started our last 2 games in the Champions League. Obviously, he started against Besiktas and he started against RB Leipzig. Against RB Leipzig, he was playing in that number 10 role. Donny Van Der Beek, though, has not yet made his full Premier League debut for the football club. He scored in his Premier League debut, though, against Crystal Palace. That was on the opening day of the Premier League season. Solskjaer was talking about Donny Van Der Beek prior to the Leipzig game, and he was saying that, he's going to be an important player this year and he's going to play a big part and all that, and he explained why he hasn't been playing in much, because I think Ollie's trying to figure out where his best position would be, because he can play in like 3 different roles, can't he, Donny Van Der Beek? But I just think we prefer to play probably Fernandes ahead of him. That's what it seems to me. Obviously, couple of times we've seen Donny Van Der Beek and Paul Pogba start together, but obviously we've not yet seen Donny Van Der Beek, Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes all start, have we? Can they all start in our midfield? That is the question. But if they did, then what would happen with the likes of Fred and McTominay? I've got to say, I've been very, very impressed with Fred recently. He really surprised me, Fred. He was very, very good against Everton. He didn't play any part against Besiktas. He got given a rest. Against Arsenal, he was poor. Fred lost the ball too many times. But in a lot of his games this season, he's been very consistent. Got to give him a lot of credit. I've been very, very impressed with Harry Maguire recently. He's been very effective in the air. He's made vital interceptions. Against Everton, he threaded some good long balls through. Good to see him bounce back, because Harry Maguire did have early season troubles, didn't he? Because he had that incident in Greece before the start of the season. It hasn't let it affect him though. He's just focusing on his football. Had a few knocks. He got sent off in England's 1-0 defeat to Denmark. So yeah, give him credit. Give him a lot of credit, and obviously Harry Maguire is our current captain. David De Gea, he's also rejuvenated himself. He's made very, very good saves recently. He didn't have not much to do though in the Everton game, apart from obviously take the ball out of his net from Bernard's first goal. You know, David De Gea is now into his 10th season at Manchester United. You know, De Gea has made over 400 appearances for the club in all competitions, but I said he'll remain our number one this season, will David De Gea. Luke Shaw, he's also really impressed me recently. Obviously, got an assist against Everton for one of Bruno Fernandez's goals, and he also got an assist for Martial's goal in the 2-1 defeat to Besiktas. So that's 2 assists in the space of what, a week? Very good. My only element of concern about Luke Shaw is that he is injury prone. You know, Juan Mata has impressed me in some games that he's played in this season, especially in the 2 Carabao Cup games against Luton and Brighton. You know, he got man of the match, I think, in both of them games. And he also did well in the Newcastle game, did Juan Mata. So yeah, they are the players that have impressed me. But I think the players that have been underperforming recently is Wan-Bissaka. I think he's looked a bit off the pace in the last couple of games. Matic, he hasn't been that good when he's played, you know, recently. Like I said, he's already lost his place in the team anyway. Paul Pogba, he's obviously been underperforming in the league. Obviously, Paul Pogba now, though, is not getting a lot of starts in the league, is he? So we must now make a decision on Paul Pogba, like I mentioned yesterday. You know, we've got to solve the issue with him. I think he'll end up leaving the football club next year, like I've already said, and I think he'll end up going to Real Madrid, will Paul Pogba, because he made an admission quite a few weeks ago saying that one day his dream is to join Real Madrid. There's obviously been narratives of him going back to Juventus. PSG and Barcelona have been in for him before. Not so long ago, we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. So he's under contract with the club until June 2022, Paul Pogba. And I don't think he was happy with this decision over extending his contract. We've lowered our asking price for him. I think we're willing to accept now £53 million for him. So that's around £35 million less than what we paid for him from Juventus. You know, will Paul Pogba start after the international break against West Brom? McTominay, I haven't really been impressed with him recently either. He's had a good couple of games this season as McTominay, but I totally think his contrast to Fred. I think Fred's a better midfielder than McTominay. He really is. But I've credited McTominay when he's deserved to be credited. But recently, Fred and McTominay have been playing a lot together in our midfield. Martial, I haven't really been impressed with him this season. I know that obviously he got a 3-game suspension, Anthony Martial, and obviously now he's served that suspension, and obviously he started against Everton, didn't he? Should have scored when it was 0-0 and that. There's a lot of United fans now saying that Martial should be dropped and we should start Edinson Cavani ahead of him. You know, Edinson Cavani scored his first goal for the club in the 3-1 win against Everton. But yeah, should Martial be dropped, like I said. But Martial was good last season under Ole, and he was good in his debut season under the Louis van Gaal era, wasn't he? You know what I mean? Victor Lindelof, he's had some good games this season. There's still aspects of his game that I've got to improve. I'm not a big fan now of Victor Lindelof, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. Axel Tuanzebe, can't give you much of a perception on him at the moment. He's been playing recently, coming off the bench. He started against Besiktas, didn't he? He started against PSG. I've got to say, he was exceptional against PSG. That game against PSG was his first start for Man United in 10 months. You know what I mean? But yeah, there has been definitely players underperformed. Daniel James, I don't think he's been too good when he's been playing either, but he doesn't get a lot in the team now, does Daniel James, does he? But like I said, in regards to Ole, these team selections are questionable. That's got to start improving. We've got to win more games after the international break to keep him in the job. I think Ollie showed tactical flexibility in a lot of the big games since he got appointed in as Man United manager, because our record against the top 6 sides has been very, very good since Ollie came into the football club. I thought Ollie did well last season in his first full season at the club. He got us qualification for the Champions League, also got us third, and he guided us to 3 semi-finals. He's made some good signings so far as Man United manager. You know, he's spent over £200 million and he's enjoyed around 4 transfer windows at the club. He's got rid of a lot of players since he came in. He's promoted the youth well. So yeah, there's definitely positives that you can take. There's not all negativity regarding Solsjaer, is there? Obviously, we've got a few injuries. Luke Shaw's got a hamstring injury. I think he's not going to be playing against West Brom because I heard he's out until December. We've also got Eric Bailly out. He's out of a muscle injury for a few weeks. Marcus Rashford's hurt his shoulder, I heard. But Rashford should be still available for the game against West Brom. Lindelof, I think he's got an injury as well. But he was a doubt before the Everton game because it said he had a back injury. Phil Jones is still injured. He's not so long ago had an operation. But we will have to see, won't we? But Telles should be making his Premier League debut against West Brom after the international break. Edison Cavani could be making his full Premier League debut for the club as well after the international break. He's made 5 substitute appearances so far for Man United, hasn't he? So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.